Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Meats and Beats with your hosts, Tony and AJ.
What's up, y'all, and welcome to the inaugural episode of the Meats and Beats podcast featuring me, AJ Gale, and Tony Brooks, aka Tony Brooks. All we're going to talk about is food and music and the occasional rabbit hole down into multiverses. So y'all check it out. This is the first episode. It might be the last episode. Man, this might not even come out anywhere. So we might be the only ones listening to ourselves, which wouldn't be the first time.
I mean, we all the time just talk nonsense and listen to ourselves. It's what we do.
Yeah, so we decided let's go ahead and record it and put it on the internet for the whole world to hear our ridiculousness.
Why not? Everybody's doing it. So today we're going to talk about what is barbecue really? I mean, what is it really?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we can start with what barbecue isn't.
Yeah, barbecue is not cooking a burger or a hot dog or a steak even. You know, that's fucking grilling. So if you're just going to light up some coals and throw some shit on there and do it, that's not barbecue. I mean, barbecue is a specific thing, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think barbecue is low and slow, or I mean, I guess fast and hot at some of these barbecue joints. But for me, like a barbecue is like a brisket or ribs or like something that takes more than like 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, chicken, pulled pork, something you got to put a little effort into. I mean, not to say that you're not putting effort into grilling your hot dogs from HEB that cost 99 cents, your bar ass fucking nonsense. Not to say that guy's not putting in a little effort, but that's not barbecue, man.
Are hot dogs really 99 cents?
I mean, if you buy a bar ass hot dog, it's probably 99 cents. And if you spend more than that, then you deserve what you get.
What about like one of the what are the Franks that are kosher Franks?
Oh, Hebrew National?
Yeah, what about those? Those aren't 99 cents, right?
No, they're like $8. I don't know. Hebrew Nationals are legit though.
Oh,
I mean, if we're gonna make Jew jokes, it needs to be centered around Hebrew Nationals.
Are we editing this? I don't know. We're gonna get pulled the plug on before we even get going here.
Probably so.
Oh man, where were we? Something about a hot dog.
We're talking about what is barbecue and what is not barbecue. So the only thing when you're doing steaks, I would maybe consider like a reverse sear type of barbecue, you know, because you got to smoke it and then do the sear. You know, I maybe would throw that in the category of barbecue, but generally, you know, you're looking at ribs, pork, chicken, pulled pork.
Barbacoa.
Barbacoa could be barbecue. You know, you have to cook it low and slow for a long period of time. Now, there's a lot of people that do barbacoa in the crock pot that will blow your fucking mind, right? But
we're going to go there already? We're going to the crock pot right now?
I mean, we could.
Okay, I mean, let's steer off of this for a second. We're talking about what is and what is not barbecue. I saw an Instapot recipe thing on Tony's refrigerator when I got here, and I said, you know what's not cooking? Crockpot cooking is not cooking. I'm sorry. If you're going to throw a bunch of crap in a crock pot and then walk away for 8 hours, you didn't cook that. That is not cooking. I mean, yes, it might be delicious. Yes, it might be like the greatest thing I ever had, but is it cooking? No, it's not.
Well, I mean, it's kind of cooking. Is baking cooking? Because it's like baking pretty much.
I mean, I guess technically I put all my food in a barbecue pit and come back 12 hours later. I mean, are you really going to just come at me from my own stance, bro?
I mean, if we're talking logically, which let's not get in the habit of doing that.
I'm just saying it's lazy.
Well, you know, there's a lot of things that are lazy. And Instapot is probably at the top of the totem pole when it comes to lazy cooking.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't just going at the Instapot. I was thinking more of the crock pot because, like, and casseroles. Like, just throwing crap in a pan and turning it on, that's not cooking. Like, you're not even trying. Like, that's not, it's like the lazy, like, what is the laziest thing I can make right now? Oh, let me throw all this stuff in what could be an actual enchilada and throw it in a pot and call it an enchilada casserole because I was too lazy or didn't have the talent to roll out some enchiladas.
So if your goal was to alienate house moms all over America with this podcast by disrespecting casseroles, then we've accomplished our
Well,
goal.
I'm sure I just disrespected the one housewife that's listening to this podcast.
I mean, how many housewives are listening to two?
Other than your wife listening through the door right now, 0.
Yeah, I would agree. But when it comes to casseroles, I mean, there's a little bit of prep, and you have to cut the vegetables. You have to add the seasoning. I mean, kind of cooking.
What if you bought the pre-cut vegetables and the pre-packaged seasoning from HEB? No plug intended. But if they wanted to sponsor this podcast, hit me up.
I mean, if you buy it and you throw it together and you put it in the oven, at least you're not grilling Bar S hot dogs.
Dude, shout out Bar S. I mean, are they gonna hit us up with a sponsor? Like, I'll take a 99-cent hot dog, like on the for real right now. Yeah, let's do that. But okay, so man, it didn't take us long at all to go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, I mean,
let's get back on this. Is it barbecue or not barbecue topic?
Can you call me Captain Tangent?
Captain
I can be
Tangent.
Captain Tangent. But if we're gonna talk about what is and what is not barbecue, let's talk about propane grilling.
Let's talk about propane.
Because there's a few people that I've met that they're gonna put some shit on a propane grill and they're gonna tell me they're barbecuing, and
no,
I just get insulted.
Dude,
know?
First of all, Hank Hill, what were you even thinking? We don't want to taste the heat. We want to taste the meat. Bro, you're not even a Texan, so I don't even understand how did that even happen? How did, there wasn't a consultant on the King of the Hill show to say, hey, in Texas, we cook with wood? I mean, at least throw some briquettes down, bro. Like, propane?
Well, I think with that show in particular, you got a person probably from California or New York trying to make a show about being from Texas, and that's the best he could fucking come up with.
I mean, at least he didn't put him on a horse.
Yeah, and there were no cowboy hats really. Occasionally, the dad would wear one.
Yeah.
And, that would happen, but generally I've seen worse, more disrespectful things about Texas and King of the Hill. But that being said, throwing shit down on a propane grill, that's not barbecue, bro.
Let me ask you this.
Don't do that.
Steaks on a propane grill. How do you feel about that?
Well, it depends. I mean, if I'm trying to get a steak in a hurry, and it's what I have, that's fine. But I'm never going to eat a steak on a propane grill and say, man, that's the best steak I ever had. That's not going to happen because you can't cook the best steak that I've ever had on a propane grill.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I've definitely done some work on a propane grill. There's only 3 things that I cook on a propane grill, and that's a cheap steak, hamburgers, and a Bar S hot dog.
I mean, if those are what you're going to do on a propane grill, that seems appropriate.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're in a hurry and you gotta go over there and get something done quick, it's convenient.
Yeah.
It is. And, taking the time to throw your coals down and or even get real wood going to the point to where you can cook on it, there's a little bit of satisfaction in doing that. But if you're pressed for time and in a hurry, go with a propane, whatever. Do what you do. It's like cooking in an Instapot.
Yeah.
If you got 3 kids and you didn't prepare for dinner and you come home and it's 6:00 and you think, oh, fuck, what do I do for dinner? I mean, either I can cook a whole chicken from completely frozen to done in 30 minutes in the Instapot, or I can turn on my propane grill and throw some steaks down and be done in 20, 30 minutes. Those are good options if you're in a hurry. But again, that's not barbecue.
Yeah, definitely. I can't argue with that. The whole 3 kids, dude, sometimes I come home after playing a gig and my dog is just like, bro, feed me. And I'm like, dude, I'm not going to fire up the pit right now. So, I just hook him up with his regular old Purina. So
to clarify, you feed your dog barbecue.
dude, yes, 100%.
Can I be your dog?
Yeah, dude, I thought you were my dog. Where are my dogs at?
We're talking about 1990s slang now?
Bro, dude, who let the dogs out probably made $20 billion.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean,
it's still played for whatever reason. Kids today, when they hear it, they're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, dude, it's no Old Town Road.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that much.
I mean, when it comes to one hit wonders, yeah, it's no Old Town
Bro,
Road.
no, real quick, shout out. I was thinking about this the other day. Shout out to Billy Ray Cyrus to be the only guy to be a one hit wonder twice.
In multiple decades.
Dude, like, I mean, what more do you want from life? Like, he made a huge hit, like, whatever year that was. Somebody look it up, Google it, and add it in the comments. And then, like, made that cash, laid low, had a kid, made a bunch of cash off of her crazy, and then
he
boom.
adopted that kid.
What?
I'm pretty sure that he adopted Miley Ray Cyrus. That it's not his natural born daughter.
Wow. So, like, he just found her and, like, was like, you come here, make me money, or, like, he married her mother. Hey, Jamie, pull that up.
Can we do Jamie pull that up?
Yeah, Jamie, pull that up, except it's actually Tony.
Yeah, I am pretty sure that she's adopted.
So you think it's like an Illuminati plant? Like they gave her to him to become a star? Or was it like a Blindside thing where they like took in her and like they nourished her and they knew she was going to be a star? Or like what happened?
Well, considering they're both white, it's most likely an adopted thing. Like, I don't know that like he looked at her and saw the instant talent. He adopted her out of love, I'm sure. And then she blossomed into a star with his help and crazy amount of money. Now, if you want to go down the rabbit hole of what's going on with the Epsteins and maybe that fucking somehow played into it and there's some shit going on, like, I don't know that I'm ready for that conversation with Billy Ray Cyrus, but
hey man, who even knows, man? But I tell you what Billy Ray Cyrus doesn't do. He don't cook on no propane.
I don't know. Did you watch the Old Town Road video?
Dude,
he looks like a kind of guy that cooks on propane.
Oh man, I bet he cooks a lot of things differently, but I don't know, man. It's just yeah. I don't even know where we were or why we got here, but real quick, if you like where this is going, hit that comment button, like, comment, subscribe. Can you subscribe to podcasts?
Yeah, I mean, you can subscribe to our social media and our website, probably.
We should probably know that stuff if we're going to be podcasters.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, does anybody really know?
Dude, I don't even know. We're just two dudes sitting in a bedroom. Well, I'm leaning on a crib right now, and there's chicken downstairs resting for us to eat later.
Yeah, you're a dude leaning on a crib inside a crib waiting to go eat chicken.
Bro, that's like cribception.
That is. I mean... Since we're going completely off the rails and you want to talk about tangents and we're discussing whether or not what's barbecue, is it propane, is it grilling hot dogs, I'm going to take a shot now.
Oh my God. Hang on. Let me get the special effects ready for shots fired. So
is cooking on a pellet grill really barbecue?
Bro.
Or is it baking outside?
Yes.
So, like, with a pellet grill, you enter all your shit and you let it go with the temperature that you want. And you set your automatic controller.
It's like the greatest invention ever. Yeah.
So, is it barbecue or is it an easy bake oven that's outside that happens to use wood?
Wait, does it easy
wood
bake
chips? Not even real wood.
They're pellets, bro. There are compressed wood. I am a Traeger fanboy.
So rabbits shit pellets.
Yeah, you never seen it on Discovery Channel? You have never been to that part of YouTube before?
I don't think so.
I'll send you some dark web links. As always, links will be in the description below. But dude, check it out. Okay, listen, I know crockpot cooking isn't cooking. I know casserole cooking isn't cooking. Instapot, okay, whatever. Traegers, bro, I'm a fan. I'm a fanboy. And I'll tell you what, I've been thinking about this a lot. I kind of have been like in my journey of aspiring carnivore snob. I was thinking like, dude, I'm never going to eat a brisket that's been wrapped, or I'm never going to eat this that's been cooked this way, or, purist, whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, if it tastes good, if the texture's right, like, I think it's cool. However you got there, like, just put it on my plate, So I think the Traeger, for me personally, I love it. I have a smaller one, so I haven't had good luck with doing a brisket in mine because, like, it's the heat source. I mean, it's still a fire. It's still a real fire inside the pellet grill.
Okay.
But it's, like, too hot, and it kind of, like, just dries out the little bottom part of the brisket. But I have cooked probably the best ribs I've ever had in the Traeger, and also the best chicken ever, like in the history of chickens.
Well, just to pin you down on the logic. So, cooking with a crock pot for dinner is not cooking.
No.
But basically the same concept on barbecue, being a pellet grill, is still barbecue.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it.
That makes totally sense.
It's fully. Do you want me to put it on a t-shirt?
I mean...
What do y'all think? Why don't you hit the comments and let us know? Traeger versus... I mean, I'm not going to say that a Traeger is better than real wood or hardwood or a regular smoker, because it's definitely not. But, I mean, do I want to really make a fire in the heat of August in Texas? I mean, it's like 105 outside. Do I really want to maintain a fire right now? Or do I want to just throw it in there and like pop open 14 Topo Chicos and then come back?
Kind of the same thing with a casserole. Do I really want to go through the time to cook it, or can I throw it all in a pan and pop that bitch in the oven and I'm done in an hour? I mean, it's kind of the same thing.
Is it a wood burning oven or just like a gas oven?
If it was a wood burning oven, would that make it barbecue?
Oh, dude, are you really trying to open that can of worms right now? Did we just really do that?
I mean, we might have.
Did the edibles just kick in over there?
I wish. You didn't bring any this time. I don't know why.
I don't know, man.
All our listeners from Colorado need to hook that shit up, by the way.
Did you just ask people to commit a felony?
Yeah, is that a felony?
No.
Like last time I checked,
whatever you just said is not a felony.
Last time I checked, UPS isn't checking their boxes.
Oh, God. Are we really going to have to edit this? No, we're not. Because you know why? Censorship doesn't need to exist.
Yeah, don't get me started on the shadow bans and censoring people.
Don't rile Tony up. Don't rile them up, y'all. I mean, but yeah, get in those comments and let us know. What do you think? What's barbecue to you? What's not barbecue to you? Traeger, not Traeger, hardwood, briquettes versus hardwood. What do you think?
You know, briquettes is still, you can barbecue with briquettes. I mean, you can go low and slow. It produces smoke. You know, cooking with hardwood is great as well. You just got to watch out for your stuff getting dry. You know, that's the biggest thing with hardwood. Like, your stuff will dry out pretty quick on you if you're not watching and paying attention on hardwood because of the black smoke that comes out.
Watch that wood get dry. So, funny side note, talking about briquettes, did you know that the Kingsford Company was started by a guy named King who worked for the Ford Motor Company and took the remnants of their wooden wheels, I guess, and then made briquettes out of it and used it for his own cooking. And then they said, hey, this kind of works, and then started another company off of that, and that's how Kingsford Charcoal was conceived.
Shit.
I might have just made that up.
I mean, that's a pretty elaborate story to just spit it off the dome like that.
No, yeah, I think I saw that somewhere. I'm probably on a YouTube video or something, but
one of your YouTube rabbit hole deep dives.
Like, first of all, I started on like, how do I make this podcast record multi-track on my laptop? And then 47 videos later, I'm learning about how Kingsford Charcoal was made.
So speaking of Kingsford, and I don't plug them, they have nothing to do with podcasts, but
ever.
I started using some of their flavored briquettes lately with some of my barbecue. Like with brisket, I did some of their applewood briquettes, and I mixed in some of the applewood hardwood chunks that you get, and I've had some really good results with that stuff.
Interesting.
You know, it's normally I start with real wood, and I just gave it a shot because to be honest, it was on sale, and it was like $4 for a 12-pound bag. That's how they get you. And now here I am talking about it on our inaugural fucking episode without
free plug, bro.
Without any money.
We're dropping all the free plugs
all
today.
All the free plugs.
See, I just hope we don't get demonetized because we're dropping all these free plugs.
I mean, but if we're doing it on our own website, they really demonetize us?
Dude, they can do anything.
Well, the proverbial they, yes.
Yeah.
Now, especially because they can block our bandwidth access on our website if we don't pay them.
Yeah, they.
Yeah. The internet is no longer a free domain.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Yes, exactly. So to recap what we just talked about, it's not barbecue to cook hot dogs or steaks or hamburgers. That's grilling. That's not barbecue.
Yeah.
And if you're doing anything on a propane grill, even
Stop.
if you're just
stop. If you have a propane grill right now, go outside, get the propane tank, bring it into your house, open it up full blast, and just breathe until you go to sleep. I'm just kidding. Don't do any of that. Just go outside, get your propane tank, and just donate it or something.
See
to
if
a
you
church.
can trade it in.
Yeah, see if you can trade it into.
Go
an
to
idiot.
Kingsford and see if you can trade your propane
Find another
tank.
idiot that looks like you, and see if they'll trade you your propane grill for
We just flamed half of America.
Dude.
This poor guy.
First of all,
he doesn't know any better. He got that propane grill for Christmas,
For
from his
Father's
wife,
Day?
for Father's Day.
And then he had to put
know.
it together himself.
Yeah,
and
he
he
was
probably
bitching
paid
the whole
for it out of
time.
his account.
Yeah. And this guy's gonna take a look in the mirror and totally hate himself after listening to this.
Well, that's good. He
But-
should move to Texas, first of all, because the rest of America needs to know. Don't move to Texas. Just come here for a little bit.
Yes, we're tired of all of y'all moving to Texas.
Or
and
just go to the Panhandle. Just don't come down here to the Gulf Coast.
just come visit. Y'all are fucking up our state. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Dude, I mean, don't bring any of that, whatever y'all think y'all are calling barbecue anywhere outside of Texas, because I've been there, and no. Hard
Yeah.
pass. I mean, I did have some St. Louis barbecue. I did air quotes. You didn't see me, but I'm sure you could hear it in my voice. Some St. Louis barbecue, and I'm like, dude, no.
Yeah, I had Memphis barbecue, and I don't know if I just picked a wrong fucking restaurant or what, but Memphis is known. That's a style of barbecue.
Yeah.
You can buy barbecue sauce that's Memphis style barbecue sauce. And when I went and got ribs at this place in Memphis, it was like pork jerky, and I just did not like it at all.
If your state's barbecue is known because the sauce is good, I mean, no.
Is it really barbecue?
Yeah, get it out of here. No sauce, no sides. Don't call me and be like, "Hey man, you got to check out this barbecue spot. Their sides are amazing." No.
Well, to be fair, if you go into a barbecue place and you try their sides and they're crap, their barbecue's probably crap also.
I don't go into a barbecue place and eat anything besides meat.
Well, we can't all be totally fucking keto to where all you eat is meat. And, if you want to live the keto life, that's great. I've done it. It works. But you got to have good sides. I mean, you got to complete the ticket if you're going to have a good barbecue place.
So you going coleslaw or beans or
Well,
both?
in true El Campo tradition, butter potatoes are where it's at when it comes
Dude.
to sides. If you're not fucking with butter potatoes, then you're not really doing barbecue.
Yeah.
Now, I like a good coleslaw, and I'm very, very picky about it. And there's certain ways of having it done that works out. Like once I was in Louisiana, of all places, at a catfish restaurant, and the way they did coleslaw is you get all your pieces like a salad almost. You throw it on the plate, and then they had the sauce on the side, and you douse your coleslaw on your plate.
So you paid to eat at a restaurant and then had to make your own food in it?
I had to make my own coleslaw, but I got to choose the amount of coleslaw sauce on my coleslaw.
Strong. Keep that ratio.
Yes,
You know-
exactly.
The ratio of anything I feel like can really just make or break a meal. Like me, I'm weird. If I'm okay. Real quick, I am weird because I enjoy a chopped beef sandwich. Don't flame me, everyone in the comments. I enjoy a chopped beef sandwich. Not one that's like I pull up and they got like a crock pot full of chopped beef and it's like 90% sauce and 10% like everything they couldn't sell yesterday and then like the floor sweepings. I'm talking about like I go in, I smell like smoke when I leave, and the guy pulls some brisket that he was gonna slice and then mashes it all up with a cleaver. And then I don't even put sauce in the chop. I just want the beef. And like, let me tell you how I got on this tangent. I went to a local place that I'm gonna give a plug to right now, the barbecue place in El Campo. fight me. It's the best barbecue in Texas. Ergo, is that the correct?
If you can find them open, it's delicious. I will give you that. But there are days you go by and it's like, oh, he's not open today.
You know what? You don't always get to dance with the hot girl at the prom, bro. You got to earn it.
You know,
like,
maybe,
they're not just giving it away.
Maybe that's the appeal. Like,
yeah, it's like
the guessing
scarcity.
game. I mean, if you follow him on Facebook, he's pretty good about letting you know that he's open.
Yeah,
you know. But if like 2 weeks from now, like I'm gonna plan to go to the barbecue place like 2 Thursdays from now, I'm gonna put it on my calendar. I might get disappointed.
Yeah, or you might have the best barbecue you ever had in your life. Anyway, so I showed up and I was like, okay. So I showed up one day and he was like, dude, he's like, I'm out of brisket. What do you want? And I was like, man, I had my stomach set on some brisket all morning. And he's like, well, I can make you a chop. And I was like, okay. So he took all of the ends and the fatty parts and like all the stuff that people in my town don't like because they're used to like what I would call like city boy brisket that my town has gotten used to over the last like 50 years. But this guy actually makes like real brisket. And so the people don't like all the fat bits and the burn ends.
Fatty
and all of
brisket's
that stuff.
where it's at.
Dude, like don't even like they should take the lean like part of the brisket and throw it away. Like, don't even make anything out of it at all.
Put it in Vietnamese pho because it's delicious in there. But
what?
I mean, you want to talk about tangents?
Oh my God, Captain Tangent! Here's your sound effect.
But fatty brisket's where it's at. So,
oh yeah. So he chopped up all this stuff that like people don't like. That people are like, oh no, I don't want to eat that. Let me cut it off of my brisket and then put it all in a sandwich. And I was like, bruh, sold. So now I get the chop there. Anyway,
we were talking about sides. Now, barbecue place also has some strong sides. Those fucking Cajun potatoes, the mac and cheese,
all
solid, very solid.
If you're like Tony, sometimes like I can't go eat with him all the time because he like really out Whataburgers me everywhere we go. This dude got okay. So the barbecue place makes a side they make a meal that's like a mac and cheese, pulled pork conglomeration with the enzymes and everything. And like, it's a meal, right? It's like the price of a meal. Bro got that as a side. I was like, dude, are you kidding? He got like the big sandwich that they have there. I can't remember what it's called because after you eat it, you just go to sleep. But it has like everything in it. And then he got this on the side. And I'm like, dude, really?
Well, that happens. You know, it's like when we went to Amels. And I decided to get a burger and a Frito pie.
Who does that?
I mean, sometimes you got to just think outside of the box for the greater good of yourself.
No lie. Tony sat down with that, and I stood up and said the Pledge of Allegiance before he ate it. No, not one single person kneeled down during it either. It was probably like I had a single tear rolling down my cheek. It was probably one of the greatest moments that I've ever gotten to witness.
Yeah, so if you get a chance to go to a burger spot and get a Frito pie on the side with chili that they make in-house,
boom,
do it because it's great.
Yeah, but it's not barbecue.
It's still not barbecue, right? And that's where we got off on our tangent. We're talking about what's barbecue and what's
I don't even know where. I know that I started telling the story about the chop to go somewhere, but then I like got off 2 exits too late. And here we are. It
happens. And to be fair, I like a good chop sandwich if it's done right, you know. But if it's done in a crock pot,
get it out of here.
That's not barbecue, and it's not cooking really. It somehow is warm, and it's on a piece of bread, and you're there, but not barbecue.
Not
what I'm about. So, I think to sum everything up, we've identified what's barbecue and what's not barbecue.
You've summed everything up twice.
I mean, sometimes, especially with our audience, you're going to have to do that. You know, I mean, the type of
We're
guy,
here for y'all.
I mean, who listens to this and really knows what the fuck is going on?
Dude, yeah.
I mean,
I'm the one talking and I don't know what's going on.
I mean, it's just part of doing this thing and dealing with the people that we actually appeal to.
Yeah,
you know,
like some beats.
If you're an Harvard grad, top of your class, you're not listening to this. You're not wasting your time listening to us ramble on about barbecue and pellet grills and crock pots and sides.
Yeah.
But one thing we will do is talk about our next part of our show, which is our seasoning review.
Oh, hey.
And this is something we're going to do once a month. We're going to pick a seasoning and we're going to talk about it and give you our honest take on it. You know, we're not getting sponsored to do this. We're just going to come out and tell it how it is and how we see it.
Yeah, I mean, there might be some shots fired. I don't know.
I mean, I don't care. I'll fire some shots.
I mean, I don't see it as firing shots. Like, if you're just being honest, like, that's not firing shots, right?
Reach
It's
a
not
point in
throwing
America
shade.
where if you're being honest, you're being an asshole and being rude to people. And
Yeah, dude,
you know, who wants
don't
that?
hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
This is my safe space, bro. Like, I'm up against this little crib. I wish we were doing a video right now, but this crib is my safe space. So, like,
So
chill
you're
out.
a baby. You're a man baby who's
man
saying
baby
that
with
a crib
chops.
is a safe space.
The crib is the safe space.
Yeah. The chops are strong evidence of you needing a safe space.
Yeah, I've got my safety pin on.
Oh, does it
That's the
say
sign, right?
Does it say first millennial?
Yeah.
First place millennial?
First place millennial. Oh man. Yeah, let's
All
not
right,
let's
so-
not go there. Full disclosure, we took a 15-minute break to eat so we could talk about the next segment, which we just hinted at, is our seasoning review.
Yes. And this is something that is really a passion of mine as much as there is anything in life.
Reviewing?
Seasoning and barbecue meats and food, really in general. But if I'm going to declare a passion for something, new seasoning and new stuff that I hadn't had before would probably be one I would commit to.
Okay.
So the seasoning we're going to talk about is Cluckalicious from Two Gringos. And you may know their other stuff, Chupacabra. It's pretty well known. I use a regular Chupacabra for a lot of stuff, but hadn't used the Cluckalicious for much of anything up until recently. Based on the name, you could guess that it is a poultry seasoning, and it's designed for chicken. But it also goes good on pork and eggs and a few other things because it's just generally a good seasoning.
Yeah, man, this was my first time having it. I don't know if y'all notice out there, but we're definitely talking a little slower right now because we're pretty full of chicken because it was delicious and we ate a lot. And it's like, I think I tried it right before we cooked with it, or Tony cooked with it. I didn't cook. I just ate. And it's got like, there's like definitely some spice happening that kind of hangs out with you. Like on the back of the palate, and then like there's some acidic things happening in there. It's like very Mexican for sure. Like it's got a
It's got a hint of citrus in it.
Yeah.
You know, a little bit of citrus, and you could tell they blended your kind of your generic poultry seasoning flavoring, you know, stuff that generally goes good on chicken.
Oh yeah.
They took that as the base with a little bit of citrus, and you know, I haven't been disappointed by anything they've put out so far, and this is no different. I mean, I feel pretty good about this seasoning. I like it.
Yeah, I read on the label that there's a little bit of sugar or something in there. So yeah, it's hitting everything, and yeah, like there's some extra little spice in there that kind of kicks that. It doesn't like hit you right at the beginning. It kind of just lingers, but it's not like hot or like I wouldn't even classify it as spicy.
Oh,
like
not
you
at
just,
all. No,
you just notice that it's still there, and it's like just like the spice flavor. So it's solid for me. I think I would definitely like try it on some pork for sure.
Oh yeah, pork steaks. You know, chicken leg quarters. You know, even with scrambled eggs. I mean, it's an underrated thing to use seasoning for.
Dude,
But
I put barbecue seasonings on my eggs, and you know what? On like making home fries, aka hash browns or skillet potatoes, wherever you're at, whatever you call them, barbecue seasoning.
really,
Sleeper.
I haven't done the barbecue seasoning on the potatoes.
You're doing yourself a gross disservice, my friend.
Oh, well, noted. And
Oh, I mean, it's like you would do like seasoned fries or whatever somewhere if they throw little Tonys on there.
yeah. Well, you know, I use Tony's a lot, and
Is it 'cause
obviously
your name's
being
Tony, or-
my name's Tony, and
Hey,
I'm a fat white guy. There's a fat white guy on the label. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why I would use Tony's. But that being said, it works on potatoes. I use that pretty often. But barbecue seasoning, that's a new thing. I'm going to have to try that out.
Is the Tony Satchery actually white, or is it because he's like Louisiana? Or is he like French Canadian /
I mean, he's
Louisiana?
Whatever brand of white in Louisiana that they are. I mean, French white, French, I mean, Malcher, Boudreaux, whatever you want to call it. I bet he makes some really, really, really good fucking crawfish if you go to his house. I don't know that Tony's even a real guy.
Dude,
I mean, is he?
I don't know. Jamie, pull that up.
Jamie, pull that up. Is Tony a real guy?
I think he's real if you want him to be real, bro. And I would definitely eat anything out of his kitchen, even if his kitchen had a crock pot and an Instapot and a Traeger.
Yeah, so we should call this the Free Plugs Podcast.
Free Plugs Podcast.
We're plugging Tony's and Two Gringos and Bar S hot dogs. I mean, we're just plugging it all here.
That Cluckalicious would go hard on a Bar S hot dog.
Probably would.
Check it. What if you got the Bar S hot dog, split it in half long ways, hot dog style, not hamburger, and then poured a little Cluckalicious on it, and then you threw it on the grill?
Still not barbecue.
Still not barbecue.
It would probably be delicious.
I would eat that.
I would try it.
Would you eat it with a fork, or would you put it in a bun?
I would use my hands like a man.
Is a hot dog still a hot dog if you split it down hot dog style?
I mean, maybe. I don't know what you would call that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know. I don't know what that would be. Hot dog split down the middle.
We're going to experiment
Looks
with
weird.
that. We're definitely going to put that on the experiment list.
Yes.
Pull up the spreadsheet.
Pull up the spreadsheet. Let's do it. So, recapping the seasoning. I like to use the word recap because it makes me sound like I'm sophisticated and that I am cognizant of what we've talked about.
Hey, to be honest, I'm probably going to cut out all the recaps during the edit.
Let's do it. So, Cluckalicious is good seasoning. I like it. It's a good call. Can't go bad with that.
I'm going to give it the stamp of approval, the 100% GMO.
Yes.
This is something we came up with. Actually, Tony came up with it. I was trying to come up with some taglines that we could say, but of course they were all stupid and I hated myself. But then I was like, dude, 100% GMO. And then he was like, yeah, but it can't be like GMO, like what it normally stands for. Like we got to come up with our own thing of what it stands for.
Yeah, we can't plug genetically modified organism on this podcast. I mean, if you're going to fuck with science, then fuck with science. But if we're going to stamp something 100% GMO, that means that it's guaranteed orgasmic.
No. Guaranteed meat overload.
That's what it was. I put the O. It wasn't GOM.
You put the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
I did.
100% GMO stands for 100% guaranteed meat overload.
And orgasm or overload. I don't.
Dude, you and I are the only two people in this room. So,
I coined the phrase and I can't remember what it was.
Well, we're gonna put it on a T-shirt, on a coffee mug, on a cap, on some underwear. I don't know. We're gonna put it on everything.
I mean, how cool would a pair of underwear be that said "guaranteed meat overload"?
I think we just sold out of them.
I mean, if we're gonna make an inaugural product, they have to be tidy whities, though.
Boom. They only come in size extra large and above, though.
Yes, because that's ironic.
Oh my God! Hey, we're gonna talk about music too, aren't we?
Oh yes, yes we are. So, part of this podcast, which would be the beats behind the meats, not to be confused with beating your meat, but that's a whole different thing. We're also going to talk about music. And over the course of the shows, we got a lot of things planned. We got some reviews and songs and topics and conspiracies, and we're going to go through a lot of things. But I think we're going to start this off with the review of an album that just dropped from Mike and the Moon Pies.
Yes, these guys are hotter than a $2 pistol, as they would say. I'm not just saying that because I'm a fanboy, but I am. These guys have put out a couple of back-to-back records that have just been straight fire. Starting out with the Steak Night at the Prairie Rose that came out a couple years ago or a year ago or so. And then they went back to the studio with the same super producer, Adam Oder. And instead of recording at the Yellow Dog in Wimberley where they normally do, they're like, hey, let's go to Abbey Road. And since we're already in London, let's pull up the London Symphony Orchestra and let's just get crazy with it. And they did. And it's fire.
I mean, can you go wrong recording at Abbey Road?
I mean, maybe if like Sam Hunt and Blake Shelton got together and then went to Abbey Road and they're like, nah, we don't need a drum kit. We're just going to put on these drum loops. Then maybe.
I mean, if you're going to be tractor rapping it up, then
Dude.
yeah, you're going to go wrong no matter where you record.
Yeah,
You
or
record on fucking Mars, and if it's tractor rap, it's still trash.
Are we talking about tractor rap today or is that a different
No,
segment?
that's a different thing. I mean,
Stay tuned for the next episode when we talk about tractor rap or an episode at some point. But today we're not talking about that.
yeah, it'll be tractor rap and why it's ruining America.
Not just music, the entire
America,
country.
the entire thing. Trump
North
included.
America and South America and Central America. Dude, oh my God. So the other day I was thinking, I was watching something, who was probably YouTube, and they were like, yeah, man, it's crazy how like every conversation just somehow leads to Trump, and you just led straight to Trump in this podcast.
Well, you know, in this day and age, in 2019, with the inflammatory world that we're in, I don't think
I'm gonna have to
anybody
Google
can anybody can get around him coming up at some point in the conversation. Just
Yeah.
like, even if you don't give a shit about politics, some random dude is gonna pop up and be like connecting it to Trump somehow.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. Like, bro, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I mean, but here it is.
Yeah,
There
I mean,
it is.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Mike and the Moon Pie song that goes, "You look good in neon." That's on this record. See what I did there?
Solid plug.
Yeah,
I like it.
I pulled it back around.
And in case we hadn't mentioned it, the name of this album is Cheap Silver and Solid Country Gold.
Indeed, it is. I went and saw them at their CD release show in Houston a couple weeks ago for my birthday, and they played, I think, almost all of the tracks off the new record. I think they missed one that they didn't play. And yeah, man, dude, sounded phenomenal. They were killing it. It was a packed house in Houston at the Armadillo Palace. Not the Armadillo Palace, the Armadillo Palace. That's with 2 L's and an A, not in that order exactly. Maybe it is, but yeah, man, they killed it, dude. Like, they did a bunch of old tunes, a bunch of the Steak Night tunes, these tunes. It's like, I would say, if you took 1970 and then like put it in a box, and then you put that box in a weed bong and smoked it.
Weed bong.
A weed bong. Is that
I
what the
really
kids talk?
Is that what they smoke out of?
I don't know, dude. I have to look it up. Jamie, pull that up. Yeah, and then like you sprinkled it with a little bit of like Conway Twitty. And
I got a real Willie vibe on
Willie.
some of the songs.
That's
There was-
the weed pipe.
That
or
was
weed bong.
probably the weed essence. Obviously, there's some Gary P. Nunn mixed in because they cover the song.
Yes.
You want to fill the listeners in that
I
don't
do.
know?
So Gary P. Nunn wrote a song called The London Homesick Blues. You may know it more commonly, colloquially, as I Want to Go Home with the Armadillo. Yeah, he wrote that, and you probably may not even know that he wrote it because Jerry Jeff Walker actually recorded it and made it popular first, I think. The story is that they were out at Lukenbach or something, chilling before a show, and they're just picking and hanging out. And Gary had just came back from England, and he had written this song while he was there, and he played it for everyone, and they're like, "Oh man, that's pretty good." And then they played the show that night, and I'm pretty sure it was a live recording. I'm gonna have to look it up. My facts may be construed right now. I'm still on that Cluckalicious. But he was there and playing piano for Jerry Jeff Walker, and Jerry was like, "Hey man, you want to play that song you played under the trees tonight?" And he was like, "Yeah, I guess so. Let's do it right now." And so they played it and you can hear it on a live recording. And then Jerry Jeff cut it. But yeah, Mike and the Moon Pies re-recorded it there, and they did it much differently than Gary P. It's definitely more minory, which kind of makes sense for the song because, like, the song is a very sad song about missing Texas and, wanting to go home with the armadillo, obviously. But the music of it isn't necessarily sad. There's a couple minors in there, but it stays pretty happy.
Yeah,
But the Mike and the Moon Pies recording, it definitely is a lot darker sounding. It sounds a lot more sad, and they just
obviously
killed it.
with the orchestra, it's going to be way more symphonic. And
Symphonic.
That's a song that I've come to like from hanging out at Lane City and sitting around the campfire and people playing it on acoustic guitar, and it was good to hear it on that record. I actually was a pleasant surprise. It was the last song on the record, and I wasn't expecting it listening through it, and I liked it a lot. I think they did it justice.
Yeah, it's very croonery. Like I don't know if that's a word or not, but like I don't want to sound like that guy, but I got an early listen to this record. In January, I was actually up at Yellow Dog recording my album called Holding On. Check it out on Spotify, iTunes. Shameless plug. But yeah, so we were up there hanging out, and we had finished for the day, so we're just chilling. I was grilling up some steaks as per always, and
Not barbecue.
not barbecue. I was grilling steaks. I wasn't barbecuing the steaks. And it was on a Weber. And Adam Oder, super producer, he's like, "Hey man, I'm gonna play something for you." And he played it, and I was listening to it, and I was like, dude, this is like some solid country gold. Hey. But I was like, dude, like, this is crazy. I was like, who is this? And he's like, dude, that's New Moon Pies. And I was like, no. I was like, well, who's singing? And he's like, dude, that's Mike. And I was like, no way, that's not Mike. I was like, that's not what I'm used to hearing at all. And he's like, yeah, man. He's like, cut it at Abbey Road, had the full symphony in there, and oh man, it just blew my mind. I was like, dude, like, the guys in that band have like fully expanded everything that they do. Their burners are just crazy fast, and they're playing twinning licks on steel guitar, the guitar, piano, everything. And now they did this thing, and it's like probably I saw somebody call it like the most sophisticated country album ever. And I would definitely agree with that, especially like tunes like Young in Love. That one's like very Frank Sinatra-y, if we're gonna go there. I would say
I'm
jazzy.
I'm not as much of an aficionado as you are, being in the industry and whatnot. But I felt like there was some good complexity to their album.
Definitely chords that I would never be able to play.
There's still players stood out.
Yeah, Bean Judge, shout out Zach.
Yeah, he stood out on the album, I thought. I remember listening to it. It's like, man, that still guy's getting down. It was pretty good. I don't know the guy. I have no idea who he is, but I know you probably do, being you record there and whatnot. But anyway, either way, good album. It kind of invoked a little bit of the Texas swing also in some of the songs.
Yeah.
Which one was it? Fast as Lightning.
Oh yeah.
Was a bit of a
little shuffly.
Yeah. It was definitely a little bit of Texas swing in there. I liked it. Overall, it's a good listen if you're into country. But it's definitely one of those genres you gotta like. You gotta get in there and like it. If you're a Tool fan, which we'll cover some stuff for you, but you're a hardcore Tool fan, country, this album may not be for you. But generally, anybody that's into our segment and real Texas music, not tractor rap, you're gonna like this album. You're gonna like it.
We're gonna flame tractor rap so bad on that episode.
Yeah,
spoiler alert.
Yes.
We're gonna flame it.
Yeah,
Is that what the kids
say? It's not gonna
say?
stop. It's not gonna stop
Ever.
Tractor rap is what's ruining America, as we will cover in its own episode.
This album is for sure not tractor rap at all.
It's authentic, good Texas country music.
I like the song Danger as well. Mike wrote that one for his son that's, I guess, a couple years old, who was at the show, hamming it up and being the center of attention as a child that's cute wood. at a concert, had his headphones, little earmuffs on.
Yeah.
And yeah, man.
I think Cheap Silver was my favorite. It's the opening track.
Yeah.
I felt like that was my favorite of the album. Like right off the bat, it kind of set the tone and it just jammed. I liked it.
To be honest, the first 7 seconds of just that little symphony thing at the beginning transcended me to another dimension.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Like I always listen to music with headphones for the first time because I really want to hear it in stereo. Like I really can't listen to music unless I can hear the full stereo image. Like I can't listen to music with one headphone on and one headphone off, and I can't listen on a Bluetooth speaker that just has one speaker and it's just mono and just coming at you from the middle. Like I like to hear the stereo widening with the left and the right and what instrument's on your left, when then you get a full 3D image. Anyway, so I put that on, and I really like to listen to music very quietly in my headphones, right as I'm going to sleep, right as I'm not quite awake and not quite asleep.
So the context for you, how you like to listen to music, is very, very specific, right?
Very. If I want to listen to something, if I just want it to be background noise, then I'll crank it up and go about my day. But when I really want to listen to something and just take it in and experience, I turn so I use an iPhone and I put the headphones on, the earbuds, and turn the volume up to 1 or 2 at the max. That way I really have to concentrate on listening to it. And then I find that time where my brain is not fully awake but not fully asleep, it kind of just lets me, I don't know what's going on, but I really I don't know, maybe it's something happening in my brain, REM, something.
Full disclosure, I feel a little insulted, right? So all those times where I'm drinking and I'm like, hey bro, you got to listen to this song, and then we listen to that song, you're saying that you never really listened to it.
I mean, I listened to it, but I didn't fully experience it unless I had it on very quiet right before I fall asleep. Well, anyway, that's how I put this Moon Pies record on, and then those strings just blew me away, man. I was transported to another dimension, and just blew my mind.
Kind of like if you were living the image of the new Tyler Childers record, Country Squire. If you were living that image,
the cover image,
if you were living that cover image, that's what happened.
I would say yes.
I mean, this is that. For y'all that have not seen it, go Google it. It's a very special album art image.
Yeah. Are we talking about Tyler Childers today?
Not today.
Childers.
We'll cover him later.
I was making a joke about saying his name incorrectly because he was talking about that at the Americana Awards. That the only word he hates more than Americana is the way they said his name, and I don't even know how they said it at that show, but it was incorrectly.
I mean, should I just stare at you weirdly as we talk about this?
Dude, he sings with his eyes open. It freaks me out. That's the only thing weird. Okay, 2 things bother me about Tyler Childers. Number 1, he sings with his eyes open, and it just freaks me out, man. I don't know, it's weird, it's stupid. It just kind of freaks me out, but whatever. I mean, the songs are fire. The second thing that bothers me is that how everybody is so trendy about liking him.
Yeah, and 3 years ago when we were talking about his shit that came out.
Yeah.
Now, not to sound hipster or whatever. But,
yeah, no, full hipster, bro. We knew about him
now
before
it's
everyone
on
did.
Fucking Yellowstone and
then
all over.
These.
Yeah, it's the millennial fucking folk thing.
All the festival girls are all about it now. And you know what I really like? How in my mind the narrative is all of these people that don't deserve his music, I guess, to sound like a totally jaded music fan. He comes out with a song that nobody even knows what the word means. What is Yorn, bro?
Exactly.
What is Yorn?
That's Kentucky slang, probably.
That's him just,
I'm guessing.
To me, I hope that's him saying, this is what I got. I ain't going to try to conform. And now that I have a big mainstream audience, I'm not going to put something out that's garbage that everyone understands. I'm going to put out something that only 3% of the population of the United States understands.
And that 3% is living on a mountain in the middle of Kentucky, and they run moonshine from the top of the mountain to the bottom of the mountain, and they know what Yorn is.
I don't.
That's the audience he's speaking to, and that's good. But we kind of got off on a tangent. We
Yeah.
were talking about Mike and the Moon Pies. We'll
and
cover
Moon
him,
Pies.
Childers, in a later week. But you know, again, we already said it. Listen to it. It's fire.
We're going to put the links
some solid country
somewhere
music here
in a description.
We
Is there
say
a description?
comments. Is there a description? It's kind of an audio podcast because we're not filming anything, but you know,
There's
at some
going to be
point,
comments somewhere.
there's got to be comments.
Somebody's got to talk trash to us.
I mean, if they're saying
somewhere.
it out loud,
Yeah. You know what I don't like about watching TV is that there's no comment section for people to get roasted.
yes, that
I
would
was
be the
watching a
greatest.
TV show the other day, which was weird because I very rarely watch television. But something happened, and I was like, dude, that would never work in real life. Like, I went that guy, and I was like, oh, man, I wish there was a comment section so I could read if someone had already flamed it.
Well, here's the thing: if ever you're looking for a comment section on a TV event or something in real life that doesn't have a comment section, just go to Reddit. It's there.
Reddit is the comment section of real life.
It really is. I mean, whatever you're looking for, you'll find it on there. You'll go down some deep, dark rabbit holes there. Being that you like that kind of stuff, you might want to get on there and check it out. But you want to get into some conspiracy level random comments. Also, comedy gold can be found there.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the comments on there, I'll just screenshot them and send them to people and tell them the context.
I like whenever you send me a meme from Reddit and then like 17 days later it blows up everywhere else on the internet.
It's kind of like, yeah, it's like the factory of the internet. Like
Yeah.
it starts there and then they curate what's good and what's not good. And then they put it out to the rest of the world for us to rip off and copy and steal content for.
Yeah. Do we have a Reddit page or is that a thing?
Well, I don't know that we're big enough. We can start one. You don't have to have anybody to
We can
start
be
a
the
Reddit
only
page.
ones commenting on there, right?
I mean, fuck
Like,
it.
I'll make 300 Reddit accounts right now.
And we'll show up on Google results.
Boom.
Anytime you Google meets.
Did we just out-algorithm the algorithm?
Is that a thing?
Dude,
We can make that a thing.
how can we monetize that?
Want to monetize the algorithmic things.
Hey, call us if you need to algorithm the algorithm and we'll make you rich too.
Jamie,
just,
look that up.
Yeah, just send us a cash app for like 15 grand or whatever. And yeah, man, we don't have cash app, by the way, so don't do that.
Yeah, look for the Venmo link in the comments.
Hey, just a shameless plug. I started a Snapchat Premium. If y'all want to get on there, it's just me like telling you to have a good day and how you're strong and not to give up.
I mean, if it's a premium and there's no pepperoni nipples, then I'm out. I'm out.
Oh man, I guess I'll have to give you a refund.
But I'll take words of encouragement.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Even
we'll
though
do that.
I feel like we shouldn't have to pay for words of encouragement. You know,
No, those should be free. Like, healthcare and college tuition.
calm down, Bernie. Calm down, Bernie.
I'll tell you what is free. Music.
The
and
plug you're
stuff.
trying to come up
I'm
with
trying
in
to
your
come up
mind
with
right
a plug
now.
for something.
This podcast, for starters,
This
is free.
podcast is for sure free. It's free for you to listen to, but it's not free for us to make. I stole that from the Bad Truth podcast. I was thinking, like, what all can I steal from other podcasts to tell on this podcast?
Yes. Are we going to be the Apple of podcasts? We're gonna figure out
hope
the good
so.
ideas and refine them
And become billionaires?
become
Yeah, I'm down.
billionaires.
Yeah, dude, I can't wait till you and I hate each other and we only speak to each other in this room.
Oh yes,
Because the money has drove us apart.
The money has drove us apart. We'll have to have our agents
Yeah.
have contracted things to
Like,
put
we
us
can't even
together.
directly email each other. Like, I have to email a manager who emails your manager who emails you. And then we set this thing up. And then, like, yeah.
Like our people do all the work.
Yeah,
and we just show up because we're the fucking talent.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
what we do.
That's what we do.
I mean, do you think, like, other guys that are made it in life, like, answer their own emails and like open their own cans of tuna? No, they don't. They got a guy for that.
I mean, I wish I had a guy to open my tuna.
I hate
That's
tuna.
a pain in the ass.
I hate tuna so much.
I hate canned tuna, right? Canned tuna is, in my mind, not tuna. But you give me a fillet of tuna caught in the fucking goddamn Gulf of Mexico,
Boom.
in America,
Yes.
or really any other ocean, that is delicious.
Gulf of Mexico, America. We just annexed it.
Well, it's not annexed because it's part of our
Is that
waters.
maritime laws? Like
I don't-
technically pirate law?
I don't know. What's international waters? How deep does it go? I mean, all our oil rigs are out there, so surely, between our Coast Guard and our Navy, we got that shit on lock.
Is it snapper season?
No, snapper season was in June.
Oh, we missed it.
Yes.
Back to the canned tuna then, I guess.
No. But tuna season is year round.
Ah,
Just you can't catch them like you can red. I mean, red snapper, pretty much like cockroaches of the sea in terms of how many of them there are. Snapper's
Man.
delicious. Not comparing it to a nasty insect, but
you
they're
literally
very
just
easy to catch. They're very easy to catch. You throw some shit down, you reel that shit up, and you're gonna have a fucking snapper on your line. That's why they had to regulate it and put a season in, because they're so easy to catch.
Ah,
But tuna, wahoo, grouper, a little bit more difficult to catch. You got to go a little bit deeper water. Got to set it up a little bit differently. But those are all delicious fish.
we should do a seafood episode.
We definitely should do a seafood episode.
Live
And
from
I actually have a
Surfside.
friend of mine that is starting his own channel on doing offshore fishing and
Oh.
inshore fishing.
You're
And
gonna drop a plug?
yeah,
Free plug. Free plug.
yeah, his name's Chance Adams. His son is doing some videos, and you definitely ought to check him out. Let me find his YouTube channel here.
We'll put it in the description.
Yeah, we'll put it in the description.
There
I don't-
better be a big ass description because it's
we
gonna
got
need a
so
lot
much.
of characters.
Like, we're gonna have to re-listen to this just to know what all we said we were gonna put in the description. I've lost count at this point.
all of it.
All of it.
All of it.
All of it. We can't put the entire monologue in the description.
I'm gonna put everything in the description below. And by everything, I mean everything.
Oh,
It's gonna be the biggest description you've ever seen in your life.
like the entire transcript.
The entire I'm gonna need a guy for that though, because I'm not trying to do that. Whenever your guy's done opening your can of tuna that you hate, he's gonna type up this
Phone is not cooperating. Damn it.
That sounded good.
I will find the link and I will put it in the comments
He's gonna put it
with the rest of the things.
It'll be in the transcript that you can mail off for whenever you sign up for the Snapchat Premium.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
Like, can you physically mail us a $5 bill and then we'll give you the access to the premium?
dude. Boom.
There we
Hey.
go.
We're gonna for sure pay taxes on that $5 bill too.
Oh, obviously. It's not going
Yeah.
to go directly in my pocket or
No.
into a stripper's.
Yeah, definitely for sure 100% legitimate. I don't even know where we're going.
Yeah, we kind of got off track.
Where are we right now? Are we
Well,
still here?
Yeah, we're still here, and we were talking about the Fire album from Mike and the Moon Pies, and then we kind of got off on some tangents with Childers and Tractor
Oh, yeah.
Rap ruining America and seafood. Somehow,
Seafood, yeah.
So we're gonna get back on
Hey,
track
you should
here.
sum things up right now.
Well, to sum things up again for the 18th time in this podcast,
We're gonna change the name of the podcast to Summing Things Up.
Tony sums it up for you fucking guys.
Tony sums it up. Put that on a t-shirt.
Yes. So we talked about what is barbecue really and what it is not.
What it is for
and
sure not.
how if you cook on propane, you should probably just stop cooking. And all the housewives in America that make casseroles are not cooking either. And they're failing their families, apparently.
Golly.
Those were your words,
Dude,
not
the
mine.
Westboro Baptist Church is gonna picket this podcast. That's how you know you made it, though.
Yeah,
I think I hear him outside.
agree.
I think I hear him outside, man.
If we record a show and there is picketing from that church outside of our show, I agree. That's how we've made it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I would definitely go live on Facebook for sure. And the only way to watch that is if you like us on Facebook right now. So you're probably already kind of distracted because you're bored from listening to us for the last however long.
Yeah, we're
we've
just
been on.
rambling about nonsense.
Yeah, so get on your phone, pull it out, close the X Hamster browser that you have open, and get on our Facebook page and give us a like, and then get on our Instagram page and give us a like, and then get on our Twitter page and give us a follow.
All
And
of the
then,
links will be, guess where? In the comments below.
Oh yeah, and then yeah. I mean, I don't know where you're listening at, but I hope you're listening on a 100% legal. I hope this isn't on the dark web of podcasts where people are streaming this illegally and taking away the copious amounts of revenue that are coming into us.
Yeah, hopefully it's not, you're not distracting yourself from your real job, whatever that might be. Talking to you air traffic controllers. Pay attention.
Dude, how can you talk to them about getting distracted and then you just distracted them again?
Hey, we're not diagnosing all the levels of which we're talking about.
I don't even know what that means.
I mean, break it down. But anyway. Well, that's going to probably wrap up episode 1 for us.
Yes.
We've covered a lot of topics, and we got a lot of cool shit coming up. We're going to review Highly Suspect's new album when it comes out. They have a couple of songs out. Been really digging the 116 about the lead singer's crazy shit that he went through in his life, so go check that out.
It's dark.
Whiskey Myers got a new album coming out. He's dropped a few songs that have been released. Bury My Bones is legit. Straight fire. Some good Texas country music right there. So be on the lookout. We got a lot of new topics and a lot of cool stuff coming up. We're going to do some really random crazy shit that we'll make YouTube videos about when we do.
We're going to break the internet.
We're going to try to break the internet.
I do. We already got the algorithm of the algorithm.
Yes.
So pretty much anything we do is going to be fire.
Yeah. So I mean, we're
in there.
We're good. We're sitting in a bedroom in the top of my house while like kids are running around downstairs. So I mean, could we get any cooler?
Dude, I mean, if it gets any better than this, like, I don't want it. Even though, like, once we hit like 10 billion subs or whatever, or however they measure these things, I don't even know. Whenever we have our huge, like, legitimate studio, I want it to look exactly like this bedroom.
Hey, you couldn't ask for a better setup.
Yeah, I mean,
soundproof.
Like, I mean, if there was like a propane grill in here, like that would be and there was like 14 packs of bar ass hot dogs on it.
Give me a propane grill and some bar ass hot dogs, and you're gonna have a good time.
Gonna have a blast. There may have been a couple of shots of tequila mixed in with whatever that Cluckalicious was that I saw you eating earlier, but
possibly,
dude. What was that ice cream that I just ate?
The Bomb Pop ice cream?
Pop. It wasn't a pop either. It was like in a cup.
Well, to clarify, Bomb Pop is the ice cream that you can get off the ice cream truck. They have now put that into a cup, and you can buy it in HEB in the 4-packs. And they're quite delicious.
I just had one for the first time ever. Tony talked him up when I got here. He's like, dude, Bomb Pop. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. And then he's like, here, eat it. And I did, and it was pretty amazing. So
to finish off with plug number 1875 that we don't get paid for.
Did we miss 1836? Was that the Remember the Alamo plug? How did I forget?
I mean, you're part of the first family, bro. You should know.
I'm only 10th generation. Chill out. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. Anyway, well, thanks for listening, guys. We appreciate it. Hopefully this will keep going for a while. Episode 1, inaugural Meats and Beats podcast. Take care.
No, it's called Tony Sums Things Up.